Hello there, world of takers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a tech tree showcase for the Italian auto-reloading mediums. This being the P44 Pantera, Standard B, and the Progetto 65. These three takes are actually quite incredible, and one of the most enjoyable lines to grind down. Now, obviously, grinding these vehicle stock might be a bit painful. You're not going to have an auto-reloader on the Pantera stock, so you're going to have to get it fully upgraded, and not having the top engine, well, you're going to be very slow. So make sure that you do have some free XP ready to get the guns and the equipment. As I usually recommend, don't waste your free XP to research the next vehicle. Save the free XP you have to get the modules, and then when you're grinding naturally to get the next tier, you should have enough free XP to at least get the top gun and maybe the top engine. That's usually what I end up doing. So in today's video, as I said, we're going to be talking about each of these takes and their capabilities. We're going to do one battle in the tier 8, 2 battles in the tier 9, and 3 battles in the tier 10. Now, I personally really like the P44 Pantera. I don't think it's as good as the Progetto 46 on the premiums, but I think it's still pretty solid. It's got really good accuracy at .317, and it's got super good pen. 213 on the standard, 272 on the gold. That is super duper good for a medium. The vehicle has an auto reloader, which has a super fast single shot DPM, 3.17 seconds for shell 3. And judging that it's only 3-second interclip, essentially you can either shoot on reload of your third shell, or you can dump the whole clip, and you'll have really solid DPM either way. And it's got good DPM, 2200. So the Pantera overall is just a really solid vehicle. It's got decent DPM, it's got a clip, which allows you to punish people for making misplays, it's got great mobility, and even though its mobility was nerfed a little bit, it was so that the armor got better, to a point where you actually might get the occasional bounce. But obviously it's still not very good armor. 130+ mm cannons will be cutting through your sides with high explosive if they get a flat angle. The rear is very poor, so those are some things you should keep in mind. Here we go in game 1, and let's see, we got a tier 8 matchup, so pretty solid. The Pantera is a fairly good vehicle at frontline, but you don't want to bleed your health early game. Thankfully, it appears our entire team is going up the hill. It's very rare to get a team that supports you, but so far, it's looking pretty promising. The only problem is that nobody is going up the hill on the enemy team. Well, take it back. Enemy WZ. What? What am I looking at here? Like, nobody went here, then they all just randomly pop up like little rats. What? Alright, well, we're going to capture this base really quick. As long as the SU doesn't just, like, YOLO poke us. Don't personally want to get shot by the SU-130 anytime soon. Alright, we're going to chill in the base again. Gonna try and cap it. It would be great if our team just sent this. Like, it would be a very, very easy push, but that is apparently not going to happen right now. I'm not going to cap this base. It's a waste of my skill to try and cap this base when nobody on the team is going to support me. So, I'm just going to ignore that. The team is finally pushing at this WZ, which is pretty good at least. We are going to maneuver our way on up. We're going to get a clear on that player. Going to ignore the Chrysler. Going to get wide, and there you go. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we can aim it on the ISU. Get one pen into his vehicle. This is obviously where being an auto reloader is quite nice, because we can sit here, and if we don't shoot the guy, we still gain DPM. So our IS-5 is going to rush him, and then he takes the shot. And then we just get to dump 2 shells into his vehicle. There's 1, there's 2, and now we reload again, and our IS-5 is going to finish him off. You can see how being an auto-reloader just allows you to basically control any environment you're in. So we reload again. His vehicle's clip is super duper fast on the reload. And we're going to get to the side of this Chrysler here. There you go, 1 pen into his vehicle. Because he's shot, we're easily going to be able to get the 2nd pen out, and we should even be able to get the 3rd. So there you go, we just brought what was a full health heavy tank down to 186 hit points. And we should be able to finish him off. There you go, easy peasy. You can see again how auto-reloaders have the advantage of not having to worry about bad DPM, because we can dump into the Chrysler, we finish him off, and then we can just use single shot to shoot at people like the enemy Bisante and finish him as well. And when we're not shooting at our opponents, we're able to reload. Unlike the Kron, where you are going to have to wait about 30 seconds to get your clip loaded, in this vehicle, it's pretty fast. I mean, you can see we already have all 3 shells because it is only 200 alpha, but our team is not super duper healthy, which is a big downside. I'm gonna have to hopefully push the 75 TS. We do get bonked, and actually it looks like we're gonna lose this on base cap. Our Yag Tiger isn't doing anything, and he needs to get this clear. But of course he bounces the shell. So great job, bro. Let's just hope that our IS-5 kills him. He doesn't. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. What I need to do right now is finish off the SU. There you go. If our Yag Tiger gets this clear, we win the game. But he needs to pen it. Bro, pen him, please. Okay, okay, he got that. He got that. Now we're just going to load an HE shell and deal 0. Well, oh well. We still had a very solid result, dealing 3,580 damage, and honestly, we just got unlucky. Not only did our shell deal 0 damage to the roof of the Action 10, but he high-rolled us for 220. I was pretty confident that even if he did pen us, he wasn't going to kill us with 190 alpha, but I guess unfortunate things do happen, and it happened to me. But it's tier 8, so it's not really that big of a deal. I think that was a good showcase of the Pantera's capabilities. It's super mobile, it's got an incredibly dangerous gun, it's got high pen. I really, really enjoy this tank. And at the end of the day, we basically did all we could have in that situation. We were even taking shots for the team at the end there. It was just really sad that our IS-5 didn't clear that SU-30, and I had to bleed the shell to kill him. So let's move on to the Standard B. This is the Tier 9 auto-reloader, and it's one that, it's got a good reputation. It's just such a strong vehicle. First of all, it fires high-explosive squash head on its HE, which is insane. 116 mils a pen, deals 400 damage. That's really nice alone. But when you add that onto the fact that this vehicle has Tier 10 levels of heat pen at 325 for a medium, and it has really beefy alpha at 350. You go from 225 on the Pantera to 350 on the Standard B, which is kind of nasty. It's got good DPM, 2400. I mean, it's not great, don't get me wrong. The other Tier 9 mediums are rolling up to 3K now on average, but it doesn't really matter because if you dump the clip, you're not only gaining DPM in this vehicle and getting to your max of 2400, but you're also dealing 1050 damage in the process. So technically, this vehicle has about 3200-ish DPM if you add in the 6-second dumping time and everything else. It's still a really, really nasty vehicle. The fact that you can roll up to a tier 8 and you can obliterate them in a clip is pretty stupid. The Standard B's major weakness, I would say, is the bad armor paired with pretty poor accuracy. Accuracy is such an underrated value. People don't realize that until you drive an auto-reloading medium, and then all of your shells miss. The Pantera, the Progetto... Well, actually, the Pantera is pretty accurate, but once you get to the Progetto 65 in Standard B, your accuracy takes a very big dip, and that's the same for the Caro 45 ton. A lot of people see that insanely high damage shot of 380, and they're like, wow, that tank's busted. But they forget that the vehicle misses, like, at least 20% of the shells it fires, which is super, super irritating. So we got the AMX 5120, we got the AMX M4. The only light tank they have is an Object 84, and I'm not spotted, so I don't think that the Object is pushing over here. We're going to get to this middle spot, and we'll see if I can maybe get a clip out into the 57. We can see his vehicle right there. Give it a little bit of time to aim in, and there's one shell into the 57 heavy. Unfortunate. And I doubt... Yeah, you can see the accuracy, though. Like, this vehicle, it's not accurate, and it's very unfortunate. But at least we got one shell into his tank. The nice thing about auto-reloaders is while you're repositioning, you reload your clips. So that's all you really need to do. We can see the enemy FV2 and 5B183 all the way in the back over here, and we could try and fire HE, but I'm just going to wait a teeny bit longer. Let me guess. The Object? Of course it's the Object. Oh, my rat, man. The gun is, it's not liking me right now. Get a shell into the enemy 183. Now we back up. We are spotted for 20 seconds because that vehicle has the tracer shell mechanic, which is a little annoying, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. I just find it rather interesting that the Object is camping in their spawn the entire game. Okay, so 57's moving up. I don't know if the Object's going to rush us, and honestly, I don't really care if he does. We deal a lot more damage than him in a short burst of time, so we'll see. We will see if he's over here. I'm going to go wide, and we're going to try and cut behind them. Here we go. Come on, Object, where are ya, you little stinker? Oh, I see him. He moved all the way up. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to be fighting him. I thought he was going to stay over here, but dude just bailed. Alright, well we saw the 183 was in this spot. We're going to load in a high explosive shell. There you go, nice 387 into his rear. And there you go, 405. That is insane. I mean, the fact that you can pen the rear of a 183 with Hesh is, it's pretty dangerous. So we got the AMX M4 off to the side. We're going to wait for our final shell because why wouldn't we? We're just going to gain our damage output here. And bonk. Easy shell into you. Then we have the rear of the IS-7, which we're going to pen one high explosive shell into. And we're going to fire a standard shell for 343. We have dealt 2,600 damage at this point. I don't know if we're going to be able to deal any more, but it's a pretty solid result either way. No, we aren't able to deal any more. Unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, that's the standard B. The gun is dangerous, but you need to be close enough to your opponents to make it dangerous. You're able to pen the rear of heavies with high explosive, which is kind of ridiculous, especially in IS-7. You don't really expect that from any tier 9 medium, but there you go. We did pretty good. As I said, nothing really too crazy. That object played really weird. I thought he was going to fight us, because that's what you would think the average player would do. Oh, look, I shot this guy once. He spotted. He's already dumped his clip. We'll rush him, but dude just drove away, so yeah, the enemy team kind of got butchered there. Alright, well, we are up against tier 10s, once again. Rather unfortunate. I usually like to play tier 10 battle once and a tier 8 game once. That way you can get a good idea of how it does against both types of vehicles. Obviously, this tank against tier 8 is, it's kind of nasty. It's very hard to counter because of the fact that you feature such a high alpha, and let's say you roll up against something like an ISU, well, you can actually pen the front of it with high explosive. So you can turn a full health ISU into literal tomato paste in 3 shells, which is kind of just nutty. So we're going to make our way into this bush right here. This is my favorite spot, just because of the fact it allows you to not only see people that poke in that spot, but anybody that drives frontline here, you can also possibly get a bleeding shell into. Got the T-100. I really don't care about that T-100, to be honest. The tank doesn't have enough alpha damage to really scare me, and at this point, dude has put himself in a really, really bad situation. The Kron's going to hopefully bonk him once. We're going to aim it on his vehicle. Unfortunately, we miss, as I did go over. The accuracy on this tank is not the strength. So let's see. Concept's going to push that T-100, and I'm just going to wait right here. Bonk. Okay, unfortunate again. Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like about this vehicle is the accuracy. Like, I keep bringing it up, but you keep seeing it just miss easy shots. Like any other medium, these are going to be hits any day of the week. But this tank, they are a bit tricky. So, I'm not really sure. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to go this way. I mean, our 263 literally just killed himself, so great job. But I'm going to pretend like I'm going one way. Concept's going to distract them. And I'm hoping that I can maneuver over here and get a shell or two into the enemy 183. He's actually... Well, I might just lose a lot of health right now. I'm going to just chill right here. And kind of hoping that our team just nukes them. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize I was poking that far. Well, we got 1 shell into the enemy BZ. 2 shells into the enemy BZ, and 3 shells. There you go. We just brought a full health tier 9 down to a 1-shot, and that was pretty solid. Thankfully, this 183, even though he was a pretty big threat, wasn't too much of a problem because of the fact that our team just kind of maneuvered around him. He was so focused on me, it looks like he got himself pretty basically killed. Alright, we're going to reload here again. We're going to aim it on the 57 Heavy. This guy's most likely on a clip reload, and again, this is where having that clip is super, super nice, because if the 57's not on a clip reload, he's going to bonk me once, but if he is, there's 1 shell into his tank, 2 shells into his tank, and 3 shells into his vehicle, 214 to finish him off, and there you go, pretty solid game so far. I don't know if we're up to 3k, not yet, we're at 2800, but, oh boy, I don't want to be bonked by that Yag at all. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, we're good, we're good. I was a little worried that that Yag might shoot us. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to get any more damage out this game. I'm going to get around the BZ-68. We'll see. Yeah, we should be able to get at least 1 more shell out. Let's just aim it on the upper plate of the KPZ. He misses the shell. We load in a high explosive. We pen the other KPZ in the rear, and he gets rammed. So pretty good game. 3,500 damage, and a good result. This is the standard B. It's a great vehicle when you're able to use the gun. Like you saw, I just kind of got frontline, and even though that BZ-68 shot me for 500, I was able to hit him back for 1,050. And that's where the auto-reloading gun is super dangerous. A tier 9 with 1,050 potential clipping damage is, it's pretty devastating. So for those 2 games, we were able to average, what, 3,084? Not bad. So, yeah, I mean, I really like the standard. I don't know what my stats are in the vehicle. Yeah, 3K average, 70%. So, pretty solid overall. If you thought the accuracy on the standard B was bad at 0.326, well, you're going to be in for a ride, because the Progetto is 0.335. This is one of the least accurate mediums in Tier 10. In fact, if we make our way over to China, and we take a look at the WZ-121, this vehicle features a 420 damage per shot gun, and it has the exact same dispersion. That just shows you how inaccurate the Progetto is. So it's rather unfortunate, to be completely real, but that is because of the fact the vehicle has so many good things going for it, like 2,900 DPM. And this is a reverse auto reloader. What that means is that you gain DPM when you dump the clip. Shell 3 has a 4.53 second reload. If you pair that with the 3 second intra clip, it means that you have a 7.53 second reload on Shell 3. Shell 1 is 7.24 seconds, and there's no intra clip. So what that means is that you dump the clip, you gain DPM, and 2,900 is not bad at all. So yeah, this is a pretty dangerous vehicle. Even tanks that have super high DPM like the Leopard 1, you don't want to mess with this tank, because you can get 2 shells out in a Progetto for 1 shell in a Leopard. And then you just reload. The Progetto also has a very troll armor profile. The upper plate on flat ground is an auto ricochet to any tanks, even a 183. And the gun features a very, very weird turret. I don't know why, but the turret is super weird on this tank, and occasionally you'll have a shell that strays off to the edge of it and bounces. So the Progetto is a very, very awkward tank to shoot at. I really like the design of it, and it's probably one of my favorite looking tier 10s in the game. So we're going to maneuver our way right into this crossing spot here. Now, one thing I will say is the Progetto features better aiming time than the standard B, and you can notice that already. Like, the gun aims in fairly fast. I'm not going to say it's anything incredible, but it does aim in pretty fast, so that's quite nice if you're trying to bonk people. We have the concept in front, and honestly, I can't spend the concept anywhere. I don't know if it's that camo that's kind of messing with the armor highlighting or what, but it's really, really awkward. We got penned once. I'm not sure by what, but probably something camping at the back. Maybe in a mill 2, it's possible. Honestly, I don't really know, but a concept shot, so we're going to poke him. There you go. One nice shell into his vehicle, and there you go. It's a Leopard 1 camping in their spawn. Well, who would have guessed? Not me. Definitely not me. We got a shell into the Progetto, and he hits that. Wow. That's honestly just really cringe, to be completely real. We've bled a lot more health than we should have this game, and it's mainly because the enemy team is playing like a bunch of stupid people. Like, why is there a Leopard camping in their spawn? Why is there an Emil 2 over here? The world will never know. We can see again the accuracy, though, being pretty poor on this tank. However, we get 1 into the back of the Emil, and there you go, that's 2. So we still got a decent chunk of damage out. We're at 2,000 at this point. Not bad at all. And their team's going to lose this, because obviously when you have a Leopard 1 camping in your spawn, you're probably not going to win. So we got the grill. He's backing up. We're going to aim in on the grill, hopefully. Not really sure what the grill's doing. Oh, we got the Progetto. Great job. That went so well for you. We bounced the side of the grill. Unfortunate, but we're still alive, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And all that's left is the K91 and the Leopard. So we're going to aim it on the side of the K91, and we'll wait a teeny bit. There you go. We got 1 shell into his tank, and 2 shells into his tank. All that's left is the Leopard now. We've dealt 3,000 damage, which is pretty solid. So we're going to go wide. We're going to put on our auto aim, and we're going to bonk the Leopard once. There you go. That's an auto reloader for you. Of course, the Leopard basically max rolls us, because that's my luck. But, I mean, we've been getting really unlucky with max rolls today. First the Action 10, now the Leopard, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, a win's a win. So, good example of the standard, right? Or not the standard. I always get the names confused. But a good example of the Progetto. The gun on the vehicle had some dangerous moments. We were able to get our clip out in certain players, and we were able to deal a good chunk of damage. But you also noticed when shooting at the side of the K91, I had the aim in quite a bit. When shooting at the back of the Emil 2, one of our shells missed because I wasn't fully aimed in. 0.335 dispersion is the best it's going to get. So if you're not fully aimed in, you're looking at like 0.35, 0.38. It's not an accurate tank. Now that's fine, because usually the Progetto can get away with playing pretty aggressive, but just that game, with the enemies camping and doing whatever the heck they were doing, it didn't really matter. That was just a really odd enemy team. So hopefully this one's a bit better. We have a TVP up against us. TVP is a dangerous tank, but the good news is that the Progetto doesn't really care, because it's got the same, or it's a little bit less. TVP does 1200 damage, this does 1050. It's a 150 damage difference, but we feature a lot more DPM than the TVP, because we can keep shooting, and that tank can't. So we're going to maneuver our way right over here. They do have one heavy, so we'll see if that heavy tank makes its way over there. I would predict more common that the enemy team is going to try and make their way up this ridge. So we'll find out. We will definitely find out. We can see Base C is already being captured, and I'm definitely going to maneuver my tank like this, and we'll see what happens here. I don't have that. Well, I got a 183 supporting me. We also see the enemy BZ-75 camping in spawn, and the Yag. What am I looking at right now, bruh? Alright, well, there's the enemy Vickers. And we get one shell into his vehicle. Not bad. And there you go. I will take that assistance damage. Dude is dead because of us, so that is an absolute dub. Alright, well, one of the more dangerous vehicles on the enemy team is cleared. That Yag, not really much of a threat right now. I doubt we're going to be able to get any damage into the BZ by the time we get there, so I'm not really going to waste my time on him. Let's see, is the Yag over here? He is. Okay. We are spotted. That's rather unfortunate, to be real. Oh, is the Yag going to drive up? Interesting. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to flank. I don't really know what else to do here. Like, what is the enemy team doing? I honestly don't even know. Is the Yag just driving over? Like, what is this? Alright, well, the Yag did drive over and died for it. So I spent all this time trying to be smart and maneuver my way around his tank for him to literally kill himself in the first 5 seconds. How impressive. Alright, well, I'm still going to try and get behind the 210E3. I don't think we're going to deal much damage because the enemy team has literally 2 brain cells, but whatever. We're going to maneuver here wide. Hopefully we don't get spotted by anybody. Nope, we don't. And now we're going to get behind the T110E3. So we got 1 HE shell into his vehicle. And we're going to shoot him in the track wheel. There you go. He's most likely going to repair the track. And there you go. We got another nice shell into his tank. Then we just back on off. So that was a pretty good result right there. And this is where being an auto-reloader is so nice, because this E3 is most likely going to try and rush us. And if he does, by the time he gets to us, I'll already have my full clip loaded. So watch this. He's going to try and jump off, just like that. The fact that he's even able to see me is really, really lame. Now we're just going to back up. We're going to get 1 shell into the side of his tank. We're going to shoot him in the trap wheel the second. And then we're going to load in 1 more heat shell to finish him off. And there you go. Again, they're just auto-reloaders. They're so dangerous. That E3 was obviously pretty dumb, though. I don't know what dude thought he was going to accomplish doing that. So we got the enemy patting off to the side. That's actually really annoying, because I think he spotted me. Alright, let's see. We got the 268 right in front. And which way is the 268 facing? This way. Alright, well, got the TVP. And wonder if we can bait a shell. Well, we didn't really bait a shell, I will admit that. That was an awful shot from me, but there you go. We get 1 shell into the 268 and 2 shells into his vehicle. And then we back on up, and 268 has no chance of hitting me whatsoever. Alright, let's see. 268's going to drive over, and he dies for it. Congrats, bro. That's why we have teammates! Honestly, it was worth the bleed. I messed up that 1 shot. I'll take blame for that. But, yeah, that guy obviously screwed that pretty big. So now we're going to maneuver our way... Oh, I guess the TV... Well, you know what? I don't think that TVP is going to keep going. He might, but I doubt it. I'm going to try and squeeze behind the TVP if I can. The Progetto is quite fast. It goes at a top speed of 58 kilometers per hour, which makes it one of the faster mediums. And let's see. TVP is probably going to... Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to regret life in a moment now. Hello, good sir. There's 1 shell into your vehicle, and 2 shells into your vehicle. A little bit of a love tap. 3 shells into your vehicle. He might kill me. Bruh, damaged my gun again. Alright, and now at this point you couldn't kill me if you wanted. I don't know if he had shells or not, but he took too long to dump. Again, I love this tank. It's so fun, because even if you mess up a shot here or there, you... have so many other shells. Like, I bounced that 268 once, but because I had more health than him, I just bonk him. And he thinks, oh, I'll just rush him now. But he gets shot by me and then gets cleared by the 62A. So that game we were able to deal 4,480 damage, get a very solid victory, and let's do one more. Mediums are still one of the most influential classes in the game, and it's really when you get mediums and autoloaders combined, because Normally, mediums have super high DPM, but their problem is they can't trade with heavies. If you're an NE100 and you bonk a medium, you can take 680 health off that tank. That's literally a third of a medium. And if it's a high roll, sometimes it's half. I mean, an E100 can max roll upwards of like 880. So if you are in a medium and you get bonked by a super heavy, it's going to hurt because you have to pen it like 3 times to lower its health the same that one bonk lowered you. However, if you're in an autoloader, let's say you get shot by an E100, he rolls you for 680, well, you can shoot him back 3 times for 1050. And even though you lose a third of your vehicle, that E100 also loses a third of his tank. And that's where autoloaders are super dangerous. They can punish people when normally you wouldn't be able to. If people make misplays, you can poke out, you can bleed them for it. That is where I really enjoy this tank. Now, right now, unfortunately, we have no support on medium side, which is really unfortunate because the enemy team has a Caro, they have a Progetto, and they have a Sheridan. 3 of the deadliest, like, mediums and tanks that you can have. So the chance of us winning this game has drastically decreased. I will admit that right now. Would not surprise me if those mediums get behind us very quickly and they start bleeding. Thankfully, we're going to use that mobility this vehicle has. We're going to go wide, and we're going to see if we can get any bleeds out. We can see that they've got somebody in base C, which is a rather interesting decision. They've also got the BZ-75, the BZ shot, so we're going to aim it on his lower plate. There you go, 1 370 damage shot. 2 shells, 360. I actually can't believe that Prog was able to hit us there, but he missed the other shot, which is what I expected. So that right there was just a massive bleed on the enemy BZ. I don't know why the Prog's over here, to be honest. I have no clue. But we've already done a pretty solid chunk here. Our T92E1 is off to the side, and we've spotted a T95. Well, we're alright as of the current time. Wonder if we can bonk that Prog. No, that shell did not go where I aimed at all. Alright, let's see. Is the Progetto going to poke? There you go. We got one nice shell into his vehicle. He misses, and we'll wait. The biggest threat that I am worried about right now is that T95. What is our E3? Oh, he hits that! Oh, that's crazy. That's actually kind of insane. I have nothing else to say. Alright, let's aim it on the T95. There's one pen. Oh, we get penned by the Prog now. Wow, this is a really unenjoyable battle. I turn one way, I get shot. I turn the other way, I get shot. There's a one-shot E3 that drives in the open. Nope, gonna shoot Droodles! Oh, yeah! Cringe, bro. Very cringe. Alright, well, let's see. We got the Prog. He shot once. Got one pen into his vehicle. He shot twice. At this point, I'm going to push him because it's probably a lot more beneficial. Get a nice HE into his rear. Low rolled, but still a pretty nasty HE nonetheless. This is just a really interesting game that's going on here. I can't tell if we're winning or if we're losing. Let's see. I mean, that guy's going to die. We got the Caro. We got 1 shell into the Caro. I have a faster intra-clip, so we're going to get 2 shells out at least. But we got the enemy Progetto on us now. Thankfully, this guy's not the brightest tool in the shed, or not the sharpest tool in the shed. That comment I said was not the brightest. Alright, but we're alright. We're okay. We're still alive. We've dealt 3,800 damage at this point. If the Sheridan makes a play, he's not going to spot us because we're going to use the bush. And we're going to bonk him once for 340. Then we're going to reload. Now, on average, the Sheridan won't kill us. So that's the good news. But we've been getting really unlucky with average rolls today, so it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, there you go. Finally, we got a lucky roll. And, I mean, the Sheridan's dead. I mean, what are you going to do, bro? Nothing. You are going to do absolutely nothing. This is, again, where auto-reloaders feel great. If I was in a single shot, that Sheridan probably would have bonked me. It would have backed up, and it possibly could have out-reloaded me. And if I was in an auto-loader and I dumped my clip there, I would have just been on a flat reload, and there's nothing I would have been able to really do to counter that vehicle. He would have just killed me. But in the Progetto, we deal 5,000 damage, and even though I can't believe that T95 was able to see us, he must have, like, hatched us or something, but I don't know why the dude was so fixated on us. As I said, there was literally a one-shot E3 that rolled around the corner, and dude still shot at me. I don't know. But at least we got some revenge back. I mean, we shot that T95 for, yeah, 638. We took 1,147 off that BZ in the beginning of the game. The Progetto is just amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that still claim that this vehicle's not very good because of the accuracy, and that's just wrong. You saw here, 3 battles in a row. We managed to average 4,300 damage. We won all 3. The tank's amazing. I absolutely love it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.